Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. A little bit later than usual, but here we are. And of course, the new route came out today, Nahverkehr Dresden. So I've been playing this on and off a little bit today. I put a couple of the tutorials I put onto the channel earlier today. So go and have a look at those, including the new 363 tutorial in the new blue livery, which is quite nice. But I thought tonight I'll just run one service just quickly, and I thought we'll start with a freight service. I haven't run a freight service yet, so we'll use the BR 185.5, which we've seen before. But this will take us between Rice and Dresden. So let's run this one. This is 779 tons, 21 wagons, just over 311 meters long, this train. So let's get everything set up, ready to go. Get the reverser into forwards. We'll check out all the lights. We've got headlights reduced for now. Instrument lights are on. Turn off the desk light. We don't need that. Over on this side, we're a freight train, but we'll use AFB. Let's put that to 40 kilometers an hour, just to get us going. I'm sure we'll be under monitoring once we start. Let's change these. Oh, it's on headlights already, so that's good. We want PZB, and we want CFA. We'll have the windows open so we can hear a bit of the sound as we go. Let's have a quick look. Got the box containers. These are the new licensed box containers that came with this route. These are new in Train Sim World. And I don't know actually if these now appear in some of the other routes as well. I'll have to check that. So I'm just looking at the lighting. It's 5:05 in the early evening. So we can see the yard lights at work here. The sky's not dark yet, but let's see what happens as we move along. Right, let's take the brakes off. Give it some power. So if you're new to the channel and if you're watching on demand as well, really would appreciate it if you subscribe and leave me a like. That will be a massive help just to get me noticed. Thanks in advance for that. Live streams every Wednesday night generally, and pop in, have a chat. It's always nice to see everybody. Everybody's welcome. And as mentioned in the description, this is the PS5 version, so this will give you a chance to have a look at what it runs like on next gen. I do like this black livery, it's really nice. So we are under monitoring, so let's keep it at 40 for now. I've noticed that as well, and I think that might be a bug where if you acknowledge CFA or PZB, you don't get the audible warning back that you do from the other locos. So we're still under monitoring, so I will leave it at 40. In fact, we just come out of monitoring now, so let me up the AFB using the new control scheme, which is much easier than looking down at the desk every 2 minutes. So far from what I've seen, just the brief times I've played it today, the frame rate's pretty good. It's just slightly choppy around Dresden Station. I think there's quite a bit going on around there. And as I was coming into Dresden, wasn't the greatest frame rate. So I'm hoping some tuning will be done by DTG over the coming weeks, once they start viewing the reports on the forum. But apart from that and that acknowledgement bug, I haven't seen too much yet to complain about, so it's all good. So we've got to go via next in just over 4 kilometres. And the cars are now travelling the right way down the road for Germany. That in one of the live streams that DTG did, the cars were on the wrong side of the road, so they fixed that pretty quick. I must admit I didn't notice that straight away until people started calling that out. So let's increase the AFB a little bit. 110 in there for now, which I think is just about sensible for this weight of train. I think what I will do is just make the headlights brighter. So I thought I'd do this freight run. It'll just give us a good chance to have a look at the line end to end. And I do believe DTG is streaming again tonight as well from 8 o'clock UK time. And they'll be streaming this route as well. So we're just into a nice cruising speed now. Right at this moment, for the freight runs, I'm not sure what the end-to-end distance is that we need to cover. But it's a fairly lengthy line, so it should be a good run. So we can see the new lighting in the station. Looks pretty good. It's around 2 kilometres to our next go via. I remember in the early days of Train Sim World, there were a lot of complaints that those who liked to run freight didn't get a chance to really level up the same that you would if you were running a passenger service where you were stopping at stations along the way and there's a chance to open doors and get more points. So they started to introduce a few more go vias into the freight runs. I can't remember what we'll see now. I can't remember if it's 250 or 500 points you get for a go via as a freight train, but it just makes it, if you are interested in your player level, it just makes it a bit of a level playing field, really, from a progression standpoint. So we got 500 action points for that. The next one's in just under 2 kilometres. So now we've got a long stretch all the way down to Dresden in over 34 kilometres. Feels like it's starting to get slightly darker, yet the sky itself doesn't appear to have got any darker. It feels as if the light is in two levels. There's the light in the sky and there's the lighting at track level. It almost feels like it's in two pieces. Just clocking off the kilometres quite nicely. Just got 30 kilometres to go now. So this route itself comes with quite a lot of services. I think there's over 300 services in total on this route, so there's a chance to keep busy for quite some time. Good mix of inner city and countryside such as this. Hello, train spotter. Good evening. How you doing? Now you know the question I'm going to ask you, train spotter, and that is, how is this running on your PS4? Because it runs fine for me on the PS5. It's just Dresden is a little bit choppy for me. The frame rate drops quite a bit around Dresden. I know there's a lot going on. It's kind of like the Munich scenario, but that's the only place I've noticed it choppy. I've not played it too much because I've been at work, but I'm enjoying it so far, I will say that. Few little bugs, such as acknowledging CIFA doesn't give you the German fella that tells you you've acknowledged it. That's not happening. Okay, I got you. Still doing the 426. Well, you got this to look forward to because this is pretty good. I can see myself playing this quite a bit, to be honest. I just thought I'd jump on and do, because I was late started, I thought I'd do this one freight run end to end and see how this goes. And DTG are streaming at 8 o'clock, so I'll probably jump on that and see what they have to say, see if there's any updates coming. I think though, train spotter, that I mean I don't know. I don't know how graphically turned down the PS4 version will be compared to this, so it might be okay for you. I don't know whether or not with the PS5 version they've just basically switched everything on and just left it, and then they're going to tune it later. I can't quite tell. By the way, it's just a noticeable frame drop. Did a passenger run earlier and just came into Dresden, and it was there was a big difference. Yeah, he's not even doing it to acknowledge PZB. And on the passenger run before, The only time I heard him say it was every time I got to 1000 hertz magnet and I had to get it down to the 85. He immediately just called it out for no reason. As soon as the magnet went on, he called it out just once, and that was it. So there's something wrong there, because when the magnet came on, I wasn't acknowledging anything. So there's something not quite right. So hopefully Matt will tell us something about that tonight, perhaps. I've reported it on the forums. Yeah, it's a bug. Yeah, the stream was looking very dodgy just then. I don't know if you saw that as well, Train Spotter. Seemed to be jumping around a little bit. Apologies if you did.
Sifa.
16 kilometers. So the 363 is quite nice as well. There is the tutorial video is on the channel. I still need to run a service with that though, but from what I could see this morning when I ran that briefly, that was nice to drive.
Sifa.
So I need to run a service for that. Probably do that over the weekend. Probably play it several hours over the weekend. It's difficult when these routes come out on a Thursday and I'm working. I want to get straight into them and start playing them. I have to wait. Work has to come first, unfortunately. Unless I do what you do, Train Spotter, and take a week off. But there's that many routes coming out, I would have no holidays left. But this is another nice relaxing freight run, as with the other two German ones, the Kohnhaken and the Munich Augsburg. Also nice long freight runs. Got a speed change to 130. But I think we're okay around the 110 mark. It's a good job you're not self-employed, train spotter, because you'd be skiving. You'd be skiving all the time. Some of these buildings look nice, all lit up. I assume that's new as well, because they do look a lot different. I'm not sure a building would have as many lights on as that, but I could be wrong. And I mentioned earlier in the stream, I'm just not so sure about the fact that the sky is still pretty blue. Yet at the lower level, if I do that, it appears to be nighttime. There's like two sections of light, and what's up there doesn't really match what's down here. I can't quite put my finger on it. Hopefully you know what I mean. It's a kind of very early evening, dusk sort of affair down here, but up there it's still pretty light. We all do it, train spotter, I've got to admit. That's what I did this morning when I did the tutorials. I thought I've just got time, and I ran the tutorials just after 8 o'clock this morning, and I thought, well, I've no meetings to go to yet, so I should just get a couple of these in, get them uploaded. But then once I'd played them, I wanted to stay on, but I couldn't, unfortunately. So we got just under 8 kilometres until we get the go via at Dresden. So I'll start backing it down soon. I think once we get to 5 kilometres, I'll start backing it down.
Sifa.
I think the reflective trackside signs are actually quite a nice touch. I haven't played a service in the complete dark yet, but I bet there'll be a massive difference then. Right, so let me back this down slightly. Because I imagine once we get to this point in Dresden, we're not going to be going much further. So we do have an 80 coming up. Just the occasional stutter still as well. So we've got an 80. I think I'll bring it down to the 70 just in case we get a magnet. Just start to see some buildings from Dresden ahead of us. So not knowing the route yet, I don't know just how much further we got to go beyond this point. But I can see the tower in front, which is where Dresden station is. So we're going to have to back it off, I think. So we got a 60, so I'm gonna go down to 60 right now. Just to be on the safe side. So let's see if there's any choppiness around this area now. So I think this is Dresden Neustadt station, if I remember correctly, and this is quite a detailed station. Some very slight stuttering, but not that it would be a showstopper. And once again, it seems to be getting darker at track level, but up at the top it still seems to be the same sky as when I left at the other end. So I don't quite understand that. It's as if it's in two layers. The water looks good. Yeah, I know what you mean about those patches, yeah. It's just bugging me a little bit how the two levels don't match up.
Zugbeeinflussung.
You see that the magnet came on then, and he announced it. That's what I was saying before, which is a bit weird. I've not known that before. As soon as we got into the 1000 hertz, he started speaking to us. So I think we'll roll in for this last 2 kilometres. These 60 signs, and I'm not getting any feedback, which may be correct, but I'm almost sure we get some audible warning when we acknowledge the PZB. There's a little bit of that parallel running going on. You're right. It's quite nice. That's one big improvement with this rush hour. Feels like you're coming in and out of real busy stations for once. Which is as it should be.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Yeah, see the 1000 magnets come on again, and he's announced it. So there's definitely something wrong there. So this is Dresden station here on the left, the main station. Now on this service I'm not noticing any of the choppiness, so maybe it was just the passenger service in particular that I was running before. Having said that, I noticed it when I was in the station. Could just be down to the density of scenery inside. Going past is not too bad just at the moment. Yeah, so there's the dark patches here as well in this car park. So I want to make sure that I can actually get to the end. There's some traffic over that side. It does feel strange not getting the voice feedback. You can hear the click of when you've pressed it, but it's nice to get that confirmation. So here's another example of the marker being quite near to the red light, so we'll just ease it up. That's just not too bad.
Beeinflussung.
So that's took us nearly 41 minutes just to go the full length of the line on that freight run. It was a really nice run, pretty straightforward. Just a few little bugs with the on-train announcer for the PZB and CIFA, and that's happening across all the services at the moment. So it's got to be a bug. So hopefully Matt will mention that on the DTG stream, which is coming up shortly. So that was a quick look. Just wanted to just get on and just run one, so anybody that's watching can have a look if they've not picked this up yet. So thanks for jumping in, Train Spotter, as always. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in, and we'll leave it there. And I'll talk to you soon. All the best. Cheers.